For the champions, for the champions, stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up. Stand up.
Good afternoon, ACN. Good afternoon, ACN. Now, first of all, before I introduce myself, I really want to appreciate every single person sitting in this arena, because you guys made the decision and you understood that to change your life, you have to learn, you have to commit, you have to sacrifice. And today you guys are here, left your countries, left your families to learn and to bring change, not only in your life, in the lives of your families and others. I think you should give yourself a huge round of applause. Now, for those who don't know me, my name is Asad. I'm from London, United Kingdom. Prior to ACN, I was working as an accountant, as a chartered accountant for one of the companies back in London. And my life was something like this: traffic, job, lunch, job, traffic, tired, sleep, reset. Traffic, job, lunch. Some of you already feeling bored. Imagine I was living this life every single day. One of my friends, he gave me a phone call. He was a security officer, that there is an opportunity, come and have a look. Now, there were a few problems with me, and I still carry one of them. The first problem, I'm an Asian. Second problem, I was broke, that if you try to rob me, it will just be a practice for you guys. You know, I was that broke. The third problem, I was too arrogant. And the fourth problem, I was stuck in 9 to 5. And I straight away refused, but the gentleman was chasing me for 6 months. And one day I decided, okay, today I will go and have a look. Not to know what is going on, not to know the business opportunity. The only reason I decided I will go and have a look, I was thinking, if today I will go and I will listen to him, I will pretend that I'm listening, he won't bother me again. I went there, they started drawing some circles, they explained the business on few blank papers. Nothing really made sense in the beginning. Some people say residual income, some people say, Donald Trump, some people say different. Nothing made sense to me. And all those positions, TT, QTT, ETT, ETL, TC, sound similar to me. T, something like this. But the only reason I started ACN, when they told me 4 incredible human beings, they started this business 20 plus years ago on a kitchen table in Michigan, America, and today the same business is existing on 23, we just opened up Mexico. Now back then it was 23 countries. That showed the commitment of the co-founders. That was the only reason that day I decided that I will start ACN. And I truly believe there are 2 start dates in ACN. The first start date, when you sign up and, on an IBO agreement, and you process that form and you have your ID, that's the first start date. The second start date, when you really make a decision. Now, I still remember I found this opportunity. I went to my friends and family, started sharing with them. My friends used to think, I'm a special kid. They used to look at me, they say, look at the businessman. And my family, they used to think, my friends, all of them, they used to think something happened to me, I'm on drugs or something like this, because I was talking about residual income and all that. And I still remember one day, 2 months after, I got the phone call from one of my uncles. He said, Asad, you're stupid. And I was like, why? He said, because I have done my research and I found out only 3 to 5% of the people with this business can become millionaires. Now, let me tell you one thing. I never started ACN to become a millionaire. I started ACN just to enhance my lifestyle. Now, we all know how it works in Europe. If you are making 1,000 to 1,500 euros a month, and let's say you are in lower class, you make 1,000 extra, your class changes from lower class to lower middle. Yes or not? Yes or not? Now, I started ACN, I was thinking, if I make 1,000 extra every single day, back in London we have Nando's, I was thinking, I'll go Nando's every day, something like this. And when that phone call, my uncle explained me, with such a simple business, you can become a millionaire. That day I took a decision that I will be one of those 3 to 5% of the people, because I still remember before they started the presentation, they explained to me that in this business, your success depends on you. So it took me 2 years by just following the simple ACN proven system and the leadership and vision, and of course the commitment of the co-founders, being a senior vice president and a Circle of Champion member in this company. Can we give a huge round of applause to ACN co-founders and ACN system? Now, the topic I have is taprooting, and we're going to have some leadership conversation. And if you guys believe that you are a leader, say aye. We're really going to have some serious leadership conversation. If you're ready, say I'm ready. If you're ready, say I'm ready. So let's go to the conversation. I believe that in life and in ACN, you're going to end up with one of these 2 R's. The first one is results. You worked hard, you brought the work ethics on the table, you had passion, with the hard work commitment, you achieve your results. And the second thing, if you're not going to work hard, because a lot of people don't understand, it's a network marketing, not work marketing. A lot of people think it's a not work marketing. Now, if you don't work, what will happen? You will end up with the reason, with the excuses why you couldn't achieve those results. Now, when I say results, let me explain you what are the results in ACN. Now, we are in the business, we acquire customers, and of course, we build up the team. Now, you need to understand, when we are signing people up, we are recruiting people, our main aim and main goal is that we're going to build up a massive team, they're going to acquire hundreds of thousands of customers, and we're going to override those customers. Yes or not? We're going to build a residual empire. Yes or not? Now, that's called results for me. Now, let me explain you what is a leader. For me, leader is the person, any ACN representative who is producing these results. Now, leader is someone who is the momentum creator. Wherever he goes, he creates the momentum. He has that charisma and passion that people start following him. He started duplicating, he started developing leaders, and they are the masters of personal growth. All the leaders, they understand, all the masters, they understand that you can never master anything. But amateurs, they think you can master anything. That's what you need to understand. You have to stay all the time on the learning curve. The next thing is constantly attend and promote events. I always tell this to people that you need to start promoting events so events can start promoting you. And the next thing is always stay in phase 1, because phase 1 is the key. Now, what is phase 1? You keep inviting, you keep picking interest, you keep inviting, you keep presenting, you keep launching, you keep inviting. That's what you have to do, and that's what ACN is. And phase 1 produces results. Now, let's go to the next slide. The next slide is, how do you attract leaders? Because we want to build an organization of, amazing, incredible leaders who are attracting more leaders, building a massive team for residual empire. Now, here's the key. To attract leaders, you have to become one. John Maxwell says that you attract the leader just below your level. Now, let me explain you. A lot of people ask me, I said, how can I attract people better than me? If you want to attract better people, you're going to get better. You have to get better. So it's like this. You get better, you attract better people. You get better, you attract better people. That's how it works. And the next thing is, don't lie to yourself about yourself and others. As leaders, we know, we understand there are, if you know that there is something needs to be done, don't lie to yourself. How many of us, we know that we haven't, invited every single person we know? How many of us, we know that even us, we don't have 500, 1,000, or 15, or 2,000 PBV, but we lie to ourselves. Stop doing that. If you haven't done it so far, it's okay, because yesterday is finished last night. That's what you need to understand. Today is the new day. And the next thing, don't forget that in ACN, you find leaders. You cannot create leaders. And how to find leaders? I think the best approach to find leaders is taprooting. Let's get to know what is taprooting. Now, taprooting is a systematic approach where you sort deep down in your organization to find an ACN leader. Now, how it works is, whoever you sign up, you ask them a simple question: who do you know? So remember, it's not the matter of fact who you know, it's a matter of fact who they know. So whoever is starting, you just go into their warm market as soon as possible, 24 hours game plan, launching the next PBR, we call it emergency PBR, within first 24 hours, the next PBR and the next PBR, and you keep going. And you always follow the path of least resistance. Now what does that mean? You need to understand, let's say if you have Mr. A, Mr. B, and Mr. C. Mr. A, you ask him to put some people in front of me, he's thinking. Mr. B, put some people in front of me. He doesn't have a personal power. No one believes him. No one trusts him. He doesn't have a credibility. No one is coming up. But Mr. C, when you ask him to put people in front of me, he will invite 30, 40, 50 people in the first PBR. They are sitting in front of you, and that's not normal. So what you do, you don't work with Mr. A, you don't work with Mr. B, you work with Mr. C, because there you will feel, you will face the least resistance and the most chances to produce results, because that person is ready to grow. And remember one thing, that taprooting is easy to explain, it's easy to understand, but it's not easy to implement. At first, you won't be the professional taprooter. You will do mistakes, but it's okay. You keep learning, and there will be a day when you will become a professional taprooter. Let's go to the next slide. Now here I want every single person in this arena to talk to me. I will ask you the question, and I really want to know what you guys think, that how many of these things in this checklist are in our control. So are you going to answer me? Are you going to answer me? Now, the first thing, do you think it's in our control to pique interest? You go to someone, you talk to them about the business. Is it in our control? Perfect. Now, after you pique the interest, the next thing is presentation. Do you think it's in our control to make sure the person you piqued the interest shows up to the meeting? Do you think it's in our control? Yes or no? You are coachable. Let's go to the next one. Let's say the person came to the presentation, and do you really think after the presentation it's in your control to make sure if he signs up? No, it's not in our control. Let's go to the next one. Let's say he signed up. Do you think it's in our control to qualify him? Some people say, yes, how? Shotgun? No, it's not possible. You can guide them, you can help them, but you cannot do things for them. They have to go in the marketplace and they have to do it by themselves. Now, let's say if they qualify, do you think after qualification it's in your control to make sure that they go recruit some people, do the same thing, and become ETT, they get promoted? Do you think it's in your control? No, they have to go and do it. Let's go to the next thing. Once they got promoted, do you think it's in your control to make sure that they go to the training events, Saturday training, national training, regional training events? Do you think it's in your control? No. What we can do, we can just guide them, help them, but we cannot drag them there. It's not possible. Let's go to the next thing. Well, let's say they came to the international training events. Now, do you really think it's in your control to duplicate that? No, it's not in our control. So I have a question. Why you take it to your heart when someone says no? It happened with me, and it happened with many of the leaders sitting in the front. You know what happened? Sometimes someone came to the presentation, signed up, qualified, and then quit. Because ASEAN is the game where you can never lose. Either you win, either you quit. And quitters never win, and winners never quit. That's how it is. Now, there is one thing I want all of you to understand is, if you push people to sign up, you have to push them to do every single thing, from sign up to invite people, make phone calls, make a list, to get qualified, to get ETT, and you have to push for every single thing. And you know what will happen? If you push someone to do what they don't want to do, it creates frustration like this. That's what happens. You try to pull it, and he will pull it back. It's like, don't drag the dead donkeys. How many times this happened that we are sitting in a PBR, there are 7, let's say 10 people sitting in that PBR, one of them is super positive. He's ready to start right now, but the rest of the 9 people, they are extremely negative. They don't understand what's going on. Let me explain you one thing, that some people, let's say if someone, this is going to be edited. If someone is an idiot, you need to understand, if you try to motivate them, motivate plus idiot is equal to motivated idiot. they are more dangerous. You don't do that. But if you try to work with the right people, what will happen? You will have bunch of eagles. They want to grow in your organization. And I will explain you what you look for. When you're enrolling people, when you're signing people up in a PBR, you have two jobs. The first one, you enroll people into the business. The second job, you look for the leaders. So you keep scanning what is going on, who is receiving your information, who is who's responding to you. Now let's go to the next slide. I call it whip list. Now what is whip list? You always look these 4 characteristics in the person you're going to choose to work with. The first thing is work ethic. Second, hunger. Third, integrity. And the fourth is personal power. Now what is work ethic? I have a person in my team. He's a doctor. He's a qualified doctor. Sometimes you call him 3 o'clock, Dr. Pervez. He's a regional director. Now you call him sometime. You call him sometime 3 o'clock in the night, and you ask him what you are doing. It's like, I'm presenting ACN. That's called work ethics. Why are you presenting this time? He said, because my people, they work in the night shift. That's the time they're going to be free, and that's the only time I can do PBR. That's called work ethics. Second thing is hunger. All of you booked your flight, you came here, you made the decision, you sacrificed. Today is the weekend you're going to spend here, far from your country, far from your family. So you're sacrificing something because you have hunger. The third thing is integrity. You tell someone 9 o'clock, be in the presentation, and they show up 8:45 before you. That's called integrity. The fourth thing is personal power. You ask someone to make a list and invite people. When they invite people, someone showed up. It means they have credibility in their marketplace. That's called personal power. Now let's go to the next slide, the tools we need for taprooting. The first thing, effective presenter. Don't you think Naseem did a great job on presenting ACN? Can we give him a huge round of applause? Now, he explained very key point that if you don't know the presentation and if you don't read those 1 to 10 sheet, that 1 to 10 sheet again and again and again, you will never be an effective presenter. And to taproot, you need to learn how to be an effective presenter, and that's only possible if you know by heart those 1 to 10, that 1 to 10 sheet is just 10 boxes. What you need to do is keep reading them again and again, and then PBRs. I believe personal business reception, private business receptions, they're the best tools, they're the best venues to taproot. Last thing is launching. When someone sign up, next day, within 24 hours, you sit with them, you show them the 24 hours game plan, you schedule the PBRs, you tell them what to do, and bring new people, the prospects, to the BUM. I believe, PBRs, they are the best venues to taproot, but BUMs where they unlock the potential, where the social proof is. They see the people from different religions, different backgrounds, different educational background, different age group, different ethnicities, people sharing their stories, and we understand fact tells, but story sells. Yes or not? Let's go to the next thing. Pay attention to their attitude towards the process. You ask someone, can you make a list? And someone comes to you and say, yes, the list is ready. That's one attitude. The second person, you ask him, make a list. Like, you want me to write? You really want me to write? I have the list ready in my phone. So there are 2 different types of people, 2 different attitudes. So you need to understand that if you pay attention towards the process, towards their attitude, their attitude towards the process, it will be easy for you to identify the leaders. Let's go to the next slide. I will give you an example of my personal downline reporting, YBA. Now, what happened is I signed someone. He was the only and the last person from my contact list who started with me in ACN, and he quit later on. But before he quit, I asked him, who do you know? I found the second person, third person, fourth person, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Now the 8th person, I asked him, who do you know? For 1 month, he did nothing, and 1 month later, he called me. He said, I'm sending someone I don't know, and I cannot make it to that event. And in that event, Naseem KB, he was a guest speaker in that regional event. And I still remember the way he explained to me. He said, I don't know this person. One of my friends knows someone who knows someone who knows someone asked me, my friend is looking for a job. And I asked him, go to that place and Asad will take your interview. I don't know why he said that, but the person showed up. I explained him the business, and he took the business, on board. He started working, and today he's a regional director, Mr. Kamal Zaidi. Now, You remember I showed you the bunch of eagles and I explained it to you that if you start working with the right people, you will find a bunch of eagles. Now this person, he invited someone through Facebook just by commenting, on his Facebook picture that what's up. And that person started, a conversation, and from there he invited him to the presentation where he wasn't even there, and I met him, I presented the business, I signed him up, and today people know him as a Senior Vice President, Circle of Champions, Mr. Ahmed Mukhtar. And Ahmed attracted few more regional vice presidents, Mr. Ayyub Al-Amrani, Abdul Sharif, and Abu Bakr. Can we give all of them a huge round of applause? Now let's go to the next slide. You have to become the professional taprooter. Now that's what you need to understand. You have to sort the best from the rest. What you're looking for. Now what is sorting? Sorting is seeking open-minded, reliable, trustworthy individuals who are needing growth. Now I always give this example of the cards. Let's say your contact list is like a deck of cards. And you start shuffling those cards again and again and again. Now to become a regional vice president, you need 4 leaders in 4 different lines, 1 RD, 3 TCs. Now let's give an example. Let's take an example of deck of cards. 4 leaders are 4 aces. If I start shuffling these cards, how many chances that all those 4 aces are right on the top? How many chances? None. How many chances that all those 4 aces together right in the bottom? No chance. So where are those 4 aces? Somewhere in the middle. What you need to do, just keep going, keep walking. Remember one thing, if someone is not the leader, he is the door, or he or she is the doorway to a leader. He can invite the next person who can be your next senior vice president in your organization, who can take your business to the whole new level. Let's go to another example. I will give you this example quickly. Time is running out. Now this gentleman, this is a funny story. I was standing next to the grocery store and there was some advertisement for the accommodation we were looking at, and right on the corner somewhere there was a weird advertisement of Polish massage, and the person next to me and me, we started laughing. And I asked him what's his name, what he's doing here. We exchanged the numbers. I didn't pick interest. I just wanted to know him because I wanted to build a relationship, a comfort zone. I took his number and I found out that he was looking for an accommodation. I left, he left, and I texted him. I asked him what's going on. He said, I moved into this property I was looking at, and he told me that the top floor is still empty. Just to sign him up, just to speak to him about ACN, I moved into that house. I spoke to him after a few days and asked him a simple question. And my question was this: what are you doing today? He's like, I'm going East London. And that day we had a presentation, I still remember, in East London. I asked him, can we come back together? And can you meet me at this place? He's like, yeah, that's fine. He came to that hotel and he attended that presentation. He started ACN, and on the way back, I always share this because back in those days when I started ACN, I had my BMW, a bus, metro, and walk. And I was on that red bus sitting. I was on that red bus sitting, and he started, complaining. He's like, I can't do this business, this and that. I was like, why you can't do? I don't know anyone. I can't talk to anyone. I was like, can I see your mobile phone? I checked this mobile phone, hundreds of numbers. I started rolling, and I just stopped at one name. I was like, who is this guy? He's like, this guy is my colleague. I said, can we meet him? He said, yes. He gave him purposely the time of 5 o'clock, and he told me we're going to meet him at 7 o'clock because he wanted that person to disappear. But somehow, when I went there at 7 o'clock, that person ended up waiting for me. I went there, explained the business to him, and today he's a team coordinator. At that time, he was 19 years old, 1.5 years in the business, incredible leader. Can we give him a huge round of applause? Now he's on my second level. From him, 5th level, we found another team coordinator, Hilal, another gentleman, Mr. Sahil, Nisar, Hafiz. And then on 16th level, deep down, I found my first regional director in that organization. A person became a regional director just in 6 months. And then on 18th level, a doctor came into my business. On 18th level, he became the regional director just within 6 months, and that's an incredible story. With this new direction of ACN, someone became team coordinator just within 32 days. That's incredible. Let's go to the next slide. Why I always endorse taprooting, because I truly believe that if you follow this who do you know, who do you know, who do you know, who do you know process, what will happen? You will build a bond in your organization, which is almost unbreakable. And I believe that a recruit is not a recruit until he or she has a recruit. That's the main thing. You need to sit down within the first 24 hours and you need to make sure you tap into their warm market. With this approach, you will stay in massive production. And of course, production means money, because once you have production, a lot of customers coming into your business and you're making a lot of money. Now, here is the key. Here is the key. I have one senior vice president. I have 3 or 4 regional vice presidents. I don't know, God knows how many regional directors and team coordinators. Now, here is the key. None of them, not even a single team coordinator in my business came through my contacts. All of them came through this approach called taprooting. Let's go to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide now. That's what I believe. That uncle who told me, Asad, you're stupid. 9 to 10 months down the line, when I bought my first dream car, it was Porsche Cayenne. I took some pictures, posted on Facebook, tagged the same uncle purposely. And I said, I wrote this: buying my first dream car, hashtag broke people be like it's a scam. Within 3 minutes, I got the phone call from the same uncle. Asad, are you still doing the same thing? Yes, sir. That phone thing? Yes, sir. Can you please sign me up? The reason I'm sharing this with you guys, I want you to understand, all those people who are laughing at you today, tomorrow they will copy you. All those people who are asking you why you are doing this, tomorrow they will ask you how you did it. All you need to do, stay in the game for long enough. And I promise you, if you stay in this game for long enough, great things will happen. But there is a problem. The problem is, quitters quit just before great things happen. And that's what I believe, that longevity will build credibility. And all those people who are saying no to you, remember, no means not now. Once you will prove it works, they will come to your business, they will sign up, they will quit again, they will sign up, they will quit again. And this will happen several times, because it happened with me as well. But here's the key. Keep making the no list. Whoever says no to you, keep making the no list, because tomorrow, day after, they're going to come back to your business. And remember one thing, tomorrow we're going to have several regional vice president promotions. We're going to have one senior vice president promotion of Mr. Ahmed Mukhtar as well. Now, when you look, when you look at those people who are walking on the stage, the champions, remember one thing. It's easy, if you look at them and say, wow, and you just look at their success, but you don't know the journey they've been through. Every single thing you guys are going through today, they've been through every single thing. If today you are facing some challenges, let me tell you one thing. ACN is just building your story, and have this vision and believe that one day we're going to become a $1 billion company and we're going to beyond. And you know what? I'm not excited for where we are today. I'm excited for where we're going to go in 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now on. We are not in ACN for a few years. We are in ACN for our lifetime, our kids' lifetime, their kids' lifetime. We are in this business to make sure that we change the industry of network marketing. And I promise you, ACN will become the #1 direct selling company in the world. And if you are with us, I will see you at the top. If you're not with us, I will see you from the top. God bless. Thank you very much.